Hi, everybody out there in socials. Hope you're doing really well this week. As you can hear, I am super congested. I am on the back end of COVID at this point. I'm on day 10 post sickness. And although I'll be battling my cough throughout this content this week, I wanted to just say hi to everybody and let you know that we're doing fine over here. But, it might have been mild, but I'm thankful for my vaccines and my booster because I think I would have been a lot sicker. Anyway, the whole point of this week's video is to just be encouraging. I know that I have usually very scripted videos in the past, and I have a very targeted sort of message for my videos. But for this week, I just want to just encourage all of you out there. And the reason why I'm doing that is because this week has been kind of tough, and I feel a lot of empathy for people who have either lost people to COVID or maybe they themselves have lost something from COVID, whether it's some sort of health or an effect that they're still living with. But also just in fact, just what COVID has done, just recognizing what this whole thing has done to us in the past 2 years. And as leaders, how it has impacted how we lead, who we lead, where we lead. And it has really changed the dynamic of what we do and where we do it and how we do it in the past couple of years. I want to honor that with all of you guys today and to just keep you sort of encouraged to keep going. So this might seem a little fluffy to you this week because it's not a highly regimented, highly scripted kind of video. But that said, though, what I really want to share with all of you guys is what I've really appreciated from being ill with COVID is the following. I have appreciated this week that there are many people who suffered a lot more greatly than I have with this virus and on multiple fronts. And I just want to honor that because I think as leaders, it's important that we show empathy to what others are feeling and what they may be going through. And so I think this is a really great time for us all to remember, even though we feel like we're at the end of this pandemic, the reality is for some of us, it's not. And for many others, there's a recovery period that is not just physical, right? There's a psychological recovery, maybe a spiritual one, a financial one. And so I just want to honor that this week and sort of encourage you all to try to exercise those empathy muscles because it is appreciating or encouraging the heart as the fifth practice within the Coos and Posner Leadership Challenge is really all about that. It's about honoring and recognizing other people's challenges and respecting them for showing up, even so they have those challenges in their lives. So that is sort of the one key message. The other thing for me is in the last week and a half is that I have really, thanks to my coach and through my own personal development, I have learned to take a deep breath, figuratively and, really learn to take a deep breath, to take a moment to reflect. And I think as leaders, we get so busy that we forget to take time to reflect, on where we are, what we've accomplished, what we've overcome. And we tend to focus on the negative things. We tend to focus on the things that are holding us back or that are blocking us or that we feel are still in our way. How come the universe hasn't given me what I want yet? One thing that being settled over the last week and a half has really done for me is it has reminded me of the importance of allowing healing to happen, whatever that is, and to just take the time to reflect on the things you've done. Close your eyes for just a second and picture your last, let's say, 6 months to a year. And think about the thing or the activity or the task, the accomplishment that you are most proud about. Now, take a minute to think about that. So, if you take a minute to think about it, what is that thing that you're most proud of in the past 6 months? What have you overcome? What have you accomplished that you never thought you could do 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago? Really do an examination of where you are now versus where you were in the past. And I think taking stock of where you are is really important because, again, we tend to get very myopic on our goals and where we want to go and what we want to do. And we kind of forget how far we've come. Now, I have been technically retired since January, so I'm into my 5th month now of retirement. And what I found is I mean, while I still need to be making money, clearly, because I can't just keep dipping into my retirement savings over time. The reality is that these last 5 months have been a blessing because I've been able to take the time to really reflect on what I want, truly want inside, and where I want to go. And working with my coach, I've been able to do that. So, again, if you're really thinking about a goal you want to achieve, maybe you've already started to make some steps. How far have you come in that journey? How far do you have left to go in that journey? What are your stumbling blocks that are sort of keeping you up at night? And if you can't sort of tease out or you're not sure where to go next, maybe working with a coach like me will help you. I don't know. And if that's the case, there's links down below for us to have a chat. I can help you. But, ultimately, take stock of what you've accomplished, no matter how small, by the way, no matter how small. If the smallest thing is, I just don't get pissed off every day like I did before, then take that and run with it. So that's the second thing that I found this whole process has really enabled for me is an opportunity to really reflect about where I am, what I've accomplished, where I have yet to go, and what I would like to see happen, but really just taking stock. The third thing is learning to really lean into my faith. And I'm not talking about religion, although that could be something that you want to do. And I do have my own faith, religious wise. However, I'm talking more about faith, like the generality of faith, of believing in the universal intention for you. Where was I? I got distracted. Oh, yes, brain fog. Yeah, so really the third thing I think is just about leaning into faith. Sort of, okay, I've intended this future for myself. I am taking action. I'm investing in myself, whether it be time into programming, into coaching, whatever. I'm investing in myself and I'm investing in my business. So, at this point, I have to start leaning into if I'm doing the work, then the universe will respond. So, what can you do to lean into your own faith, whatever that is, whether you believe in the law of attraction or you believe in God's intention in your life or whatever it is that you lean into? How can you lean more into that so that you come from a place of hope and future leaning as opposed to a place of fear and frustration? So I want to encourage you, and you don't have to get COVID for this. Like, I just want to encourage you to really think about, how can you lean in more into faith and less into fear? And, you do realize that if you take action, even if it's a small piece of action every single day, you will start to move yourself towards those goals. Taking the big goal, chunking it down into phases or steps, and then chunking those down into even further refined sort of tasks is sort of the way to make it happen step by step and eat the elephant a chunk at a time. But really leaning into faith that the universe will conspire for you, not against you, to help you get there. It's kind of something I've sort of started to lean on in the last couple months, or sorry, weeks. And finally, I would say the last thing that this whole being sick with COVID thing has helped me with is really truly honoring the people in my life and the people that I value, whether it's their friendships, whether it's my colleagues I worked with, whether it's my family, my friends. It's really about appreciating the people in my life, the connections that I'm building, and the networks that I'm building. And if it's one thing that this coaching business has done for me, is it has really taught me the value and importance of connecting with other people and having conversations that are meaningful and impactful and deep and not superficial and not based on hearsay or rumor, but on fact and on feeling and on thought and on wisdom. And I just feel that has been a real learning curve for me is building those networks because I had so many walls around me for years that I kept people from getting close to me because of my own issues with my own lack of trust in the world. And as those barriers have fallen down in the last couple of years, I've really learned to embrace other people in all of their imperfections and really allow them to come into my life. So again, I'm going to challenge you. Where in your friendships, in your life circles, in your relationships, could you stand to let some walls drop a little bit and welcome people into your life? Because I'm telling you, just that whole process of creating relationships and networks has been a blessing, and I'm grateful for it. And I look forward to more and more and more of it. as time goes on. Anyway, this was a little bit of a philosophical piece of content this week. I apologize if this seems a bit fluffy to some of you, but for me, this was an important message because I didn't want it to necessarily be too sort of didactic and course oriented. I just wanted to sort of share what I was thinking this week and how I'm feeling, given that I'm starting to slowly feel a little bit better. I thought I'd reach out to this crew here that watches on this channel. And if you're new to this channel, feel free to subscribe because I'm usually here talking about either leadership or coaching tidbits to help you be the best leader that you can be so that you can grow in your career. That's why I'm here. And so if this is something that's of interest to you, you can subscribe. And if you're looking to grow in your career or as a leader and you want to get some advice on how to do that, I am a coach. This is what I do for a living. And so I can help you. There's a link down below where we can have a conversation around what you need and figure out how I can help you. So anyway, take care of yourselves, folks. I'll be back next week with some more formal content. But for now, take care of yourselves and I'll see you next time.